welcome back into the far end of the bench, episode 56 with Jimmy Pilato and Nico Bryant. And it's time. It's that time finally. This was such a big staple of our podcast because we basically got started right as the NFL season was kicking up. And then we were doing the weekly pickems. We were doing the weekly pickems with our other show that we're no longer doing. And now we get to start season 2. Nico was the inaugural champion. So technically that belt that you used to see in our videos is his now. I guess I can admit that. But this year we'll be keeping dedicated stats. I'll make sure that we have a tried and true winner and make sure that we all know who that is each week. But we're going to get into our NFL picks for week 1. And do you have any smack talks that you are the inaugural champion? You got anything you're going to say that's going to hurt my feelings?
All I'm saying is bet along with my picks. That's all I'm going to say because I know what I'm doing.
Right. So. Nico's never wrong, right? Except for when he is. And then,
Sure. And then I'm right the next week.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with Thursday Night Football, the opening night game. The Dallas Cowboys going into Tampa Bay and taking on the Buccaneers. I didn't think this one was that hard. This is not one of the toss-ups that we were talking about. Tampa Bay is going to win this game by 1 million.
Not by 1 million, because
you give the Cowboys so much credit, and
I do, but you gotta remember, Dak Prescott fucking does shit sometimes. They're like, this is a game. But I'm not picking the Cowboys. Don't get me wrong, I'm not picking the Cowboys, but I'm pretty sure I saw something where the last 3 Super Bowl winners lost their home opener. I'm pretty sure. Or lost the first game or something stupid like that. Buccaneers or not the Bucks. Chiefs lost Chiefs won last year. 2 years ago it was
the Broncos were one of them, right?
The Broncos were one of them. The Patriots lost 1 year. I remember that. Yeah. I remember that game. Maybe I'm smoking shit.
The only thing that I can't say, like the only thing that I keep coming back to in this game, Tampa Bay's returning 22 starters. Plus, they got more talented too.
Yeah, I'm not picking against the Bucks. Don't get me wrong, because I'm trying to win here. But the Cowboys, don't sleep on Dak Prescott being a good fantasy quarterback this week. He could get you good points because Dak puts up stupid numbers in games that they're fucking getting their ass kicked. I remember last year, the game he got injured, he was going off, and they were losing so badly. Don't be surprised when Dak puts up some video game-like numbers.
I'll bring it up every time we talk about Dak Prescott. He led the league for 3 more weeks after he broke his leg in half in passing yards. That's how far ahead he was at the point where he got injured. So we did our quarterback fantasy rankings a couple weeks ago. We'll do our defense, special teams, and kickers today. But if you got Dak Prescott in your fantasy league, he's pretty good lock to put up points no matter what. So.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what team he's facing. He's going to put up good numbers.
We will be for this year with the Pick'em. We'll also be putting out a Twitter thread with the polls for all the games. So we have our picks, and then we'll get our bench warmers picks as well. But we're both going Tampa Bay. I don't think that the bench warmers are going to go opposite unless I stupidly misspell Dallas or make some sort of Dallas joke, and then Cowboy Nation will come after me, and I'll have to fight off all we them boys. But we're both going to the Buccaneers. So then next game that I have down, Vikings going into Cincinnati and playing the Bengals. I'm obviously going with the Bengals. I've said that they're going to beat the Vikings opening weekend for a couple of months, and I'm not quite as confident as I was in it a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm guessing this will be one of the games that I might pick up one on you.
Yeah, I'm picking the Vikes here because I'm picking the best football player on the field to dominate the whole entire game because the Bengals won't have a plan. They'll have a plan. It won't be a good one for Dalvin Cook. Let's put it that way. It doesn't matter. Kirk Cousins can just hand the ball off 50 times. But the Vikings defense obviously isn't as good as it used to be. But all you have to do is just give the ball down to Cook and have it run down your throat for 500 yards. Like that's this is not one of the games I don't think the Bengals pick up on, unfortunately.
If they are going to win it, they're going to have to turn it into a track meet because the defense is our biggest defensive weakness is run defense because our linebackers
that's the problem right there with Dalvin.
It's a big problem. I'm admitting it, but I'm having faith. I'm not going to let myself get ruined this early on in the season. So I went the Bengals. I picked the Bengals. You picked the Vikings in that game. Next one, Eagles at Falcons. I picked Philly, even though I gave Nick Sirianni a heaping pile of shit for the last month or however long he's been the Eagles head coach. But I do think that the Vikings, or I say it every week, the Falcons are in the middle of a rebuild and nobody told them. Somebody ought to take them out to the back of the woodshed. If you've seen Old Yeller, you know where I'm going with this, but that's what this Falcons roster needs to have done to it, and they just won't commit. So they're going to be terrible again this year. They'll probably win a few games, but it's not going to be early on.
I'll tell you one thing though that I will commit to. Kyle Pitts, he's gonna fucking be the next Julio Jones of this offense, and I'm running with the Falcons because this Eagles defense is booty. This Eagles defense is bad. Oh my God, is this defense bad? And one thing the Falcons can do is put up points because Matt Ryan can sling the ball to Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts because they have no shortage of weapons, even though their defense sucks too. And I don't see the weapons over there for Philly like I do with. I mean, that's not saying a whole lot, because it's not like there's that much of a difference between the weapons. It's kind of
like, it's gonna be a bad game.
It's going to be bad either way. It's not going to be the worst game of the week because we'll get to that here in a minute. But I'm going with the Falcons because I think Kyle Pitts has one of those games. I'm kind of saying that because he's on one of my fantasy teams and I'm kind of hoping he goes.
You're speaking it into existence.
So yeah, I'm speaking it into existence. So I'm going to go Falcons in this one.
That's interesting. I didn't think that we were going to differ on that one. Next one, Steelers at Bengals. Shout out our former guest, Kendrick Green. That's going to be his regular season debut, but I'm going Buffalo. Unfortunately,
I'm going Buffalo. I'm not going to say lock because Pittsburgh always does some stupid shit at the beginning of the year and they win some games they're not supposed to. But Buffalo, I think. I mean, you have them winning the AFC. I don't have to go that far, but I still think Buffalo has too much firepower and a good enough defense to slow them down. I'm very interested to see how Najee Harris, though, against that linebacker core of Buffalo. That's going to be probably the biggest matchup of that game.
I said a lot, not a lock. This is going to be a lot for Kendrick Green. I didn't say a lock. I will tell you what is a lock. Josh Allen to most likely be the leading rusher for the Bills because this is not going to be the week that Buffalo figures out their running game. The Steelers defense, even though that was the other headline that I forgot to bring up. TJ Watt's contract negotiations apparently have stalled out, but their rush defense is still that good. And Devin Bush is going to be healthy again. So I don't like him, but he's a factor when he's on the field. So Pittsburgh's defense will have something to say, but the Buffalo offense is pretty good.
The one weakness the Steelers defense has is the cornerbacks.
Yeah.
That's where Josh Allen's going to fucking feed the whole time. It's Miko over the top is going to have to be everywhere. Let's put it that way. He's going to have to be making interceptions, tackles, all over the field for Steelers to have a chance in this game.
Yeah, and they're going to have to – Najee Harris is actually going to be relied on heavily because the Buffalo secondary is second to none. And they're not going to – those receivers, Claypool and Juju, aren't going to have big days against guys like Tre'Davious White and Jordan Poyer. The Bills' secondary is badass. Tremaine Edmonds at linebacker, that is the biggest, fastest-ass linebacker I think I can ever see. And he's got dreads, so he looks like he has a cape. He looks like a goddamn superhero. We're both going Buffalo on that game. So the next one, 49ers at Lions. I don't have to ask.
Yeah, does good old Dan Campbell get his first win? Does he have 10 shots of coffee before the game and fire the hell up? Is that fuck no? It doesn't matter if it's Jim. Look, I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Trey Lance starts the fourth quarter because they're killing them by so much.
He's injured.
He's injured?
They gave him a 1 week finger injury where he's not going to be suiting up. This is like this is one of the podcasts I was listening to was like, this is Jimmy Garoppolo's chance to show off. If he doesn't play well, Trey Lance will be a starter week 2.
Yeah, because it's the freaking Lions, and this team is. This is
honestly, if you were gonna start a rookie quarterback against somebody, why wouldn't you have him start against the Lions?
Oh, the Lions, the Texans, the Jaguars throw. No offense, throw the Bengals in there too. I'm just saying defenses.
Trey Hendrickson will make a rookie quarterback cry. He will make a rookie quarterback cry.
Who?
Trey Hendrickson. He had 20 sacks last year. He was tied for second in the league, for the Saints. He's a Bengal now.
That's right.
Right. I know my team. No, we're both going San Francisco on that one. So far we have a few differences, but it's pretty much equal. Cardinals at Titans. I picked Tennessee because I'm for the boys.
Yeah,
I believe in running left.
I'm for the boys too. And Cardinals, I'm very interested to see how this Cardinals team do because that division is probably the best in football, top to bottom. Because the Cardinals have a good team, good roster, good players, but they can very well be the worst team in that division.
Their
And
head
that's
coach is dumb.
weird saying that. So I'm interested to see what JJ Watt looks like alongside Chandler Jones. Because like I said, teams with 2 pass rushers, if you only have 1, you're fucked. It doesn't matter. You don't double teams one side. When you have 2 pass rushers, that's an X factor, and that makes offensive linemen think, that makes everything a lot harder. So that's what they're hoping for in Arizona, but it's too much. It's going to be too much to handle. Isaiah Simmons may be able to beat Derrick Henry in the hole, but he's going to run him over.
That defense is scary. I just realized that because I got the new Madden and I was playing against the Cardinals one week and I was like, if. Because Chandler Jones and JJ Watt are both X factors. I was like, what? Did I mess with the rosters? What's going on here? And then Isaiah Simmons, Budda Baker. I don't think that Patrick Peterson might have been.
Oh, he's gone. He's in Minnesota.
Yeah, so he's not there anymore. But it's their defense is something, and their offense is talented as fuck. But like I said, they have a Mimbo on the sidelines who cares more about showing off his house than he does about trying to figure out how to win football games. So I don't think that the Cardinals, they're not going to have it together for week 1. But, maybe the Titans don't have it together for week 1. Who knows? Seahawks and Colts, the next game. I went with the Pacific Northwest. I think it's going to be a rainy weekend. I don't think that the Colts are going to have much to do about this game. But
do we even know if it's going to be Easton or Wentz? It doesn't matter who it is, in my opinion. I'm going with the Seahawks too. But I think there's a good chance it's Jacob Easton. And for that matter, whatever the line is, hammer the hell out of Seahawks. Because the Colts, the only way they're going to win this game is if they pound the ball with Jonathan Taylor. And who knows if that's going to be sustainable, because Jonathan Taylor has been injury prone for years, and we don't know if he can play a full season. So that's the one X factor Colts have, but they don't got a lot going on over there in Indianapolis. Defense is pretty good still. Defense isn't bad, but they don't got a whole lot going on.
They have the best center guard combination in the NFL. Their center is one of the top in the league, and then Quentin Nelson's just I wish the way Mark Schlereth explains it is that when he watches Quentin Nelson's film, he has to make sure that there's a sock on the door so that nobody that's how exciting it is. But no, this one, Seattle, it just comes down to
that was a big question mark too, in my opinion.
This is more of a toss-up game than we've had so far.
They got to figure it out, because I mean, Russell Wilson, there was rumors at one point that he wanted to be gone. I mean, that was just rumors circling that get me help. Basically, he said he brought I'm pretty sure his agent went out there and said that I'm asking for a trade, but it's really just to kick them in the ass to help this team out. And they really didn't do a whole lot. They didn't. So this Seahawks team, they had one Super Bowl win, and they're lucky they got that, because this team has never even gotten close to that again. They had the Super Bowl where they threw the ball, but that's about it. And that they haven't even touched the promised land since then.
Yeah. I was looking on ESPN. Carson Wentz is not listed on the injury report. And in my head, I would assume that means he's the starter, but would not be surprised if at some point this season, at least, we see Jacob Eason being the starter for Indianapolis. I don't see Carson Wentz hanging on to that job for much longer. So we both went Seattle in the Colts and Seahawks. Next game, Chargers at Washington football team. Still haven't announced the name. Still waiting. Still waiting. They got a list of names though. They do have a list of names, but yeah. I feel like the kid in Incredibles where he's sitting around and Mr. Incredible comes back. What are you waiting for? I don't know. Something amazing. Something amazing, I guess. Yeah. I'm hoping it's Red Wolves. I'm hoping it's Red Wolves or Red Hogs, because both those names are. I mean, you got the Hog shirt on. I would love either of those names. I hope they don't stick with Washington football team. Some people, like I have a friend who's a Washington football team fan. He said it's growing on him, and I'm like, buddy,
Stop.
Just because they had success when they were called the Washington football team.
Just stop.
That ain't a team.
Like it just you need a team name.
Yeah.
This ain't soccer. I'm sorry, it ain't soccer. We need a team name. I'm gonna go Washington football team here.
I figured. I actually kind of figured that.
Because this defense, I think, is going to get misfits. Because this Chargers offense, you can talk about Justin Herbert all day. Their offensive line sucks. They don't got a whole lot going on up front, and they're going to need. They got better. Don't get. Yeah, I mean that's a great interior, but their edges are still struggling. And you know who's coming off the edge? Montez Sweat and Chase Young. That's a scary sight for Justin Herbert. Bad news, Bears. This division is going to win a whole lot, but the Chargers are the Chargers, and they'll throw themselves in the ground just as it is. And Fitzpatrick always has stupid week 1 games where he puts up 40 points. People forget he is the best week 1 fantasy quarterback in probably history. The dude does stupid shit the first 2 weeks of the year and then dies off. Like the Washington football team, it's a lock. It's a lock. I'm gonna say it's a lock.
It's a lock. It's a lock, which means now you have to bet on the Chargers since Nico called it a lock. I picked Los Angeles because Eckler, so it's a homer pick. I'm gonna give Justin Herbert the benefit of the doubt until he proves me wrong. But you know, I didn't expect him to do what he did last year. I wrote him off after Oregon lost to Arizona State, and I was pissed off that the Pac-12 wasn't going to be in the Final Four. But no, I went with the Chargers kind of to be different, and I think this is a toss-up. I don't think that either team is a whole bunch better than the other. I will say that the Chargers defense is a lot worse not having Melvin Ingram now to go with Joey Bosa. That's going to be a huge downfall for them.
And Derwin James, we don't know what he's going to look like in the secondary.
He hasn't played for 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's like, they're going to be this good. They got a long ways to go.
Shout out Chris Harris Jr. though. I always like seeing him do well.
So.
He's an original fly zone guy. Next game up, Jets Panthers. I'm going to make Dom very happy. I picked the Jets.
Do you remember how many wins they had last year, Jimmy?
I do. This is a game where I'm like, somebody show me something. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I just hope something happens. So somebody do something, and I went with the Jets. I don't know.
This is the third worst game of the week. We had the second worst game of the week with the Falcons and Eagles. This is the third worst game of the week. I'm going to go Panthers because Run CMC is back, and the Jets defense is still ass. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good Zach Wilson is. He hasn't played against a scheme. He hasn't played against a team who schemed against him this good with that much talent. Look, Panthers defense was not like top 10 in my opinion. They're not even going to be.
They're not really that. They were not near.
They're not that good. But Matt Rule is a good defensive minded coach, and he has shown that he's a good coach, and I think he's going to get his team ready. And Robert Saleh is a defensive minded coach too, but let's run CMC like Darnold. Darnold, do you think Darnold doesn't want revenge?
I mean, he might want revenge. I think that Darnold is, in my head, I think Darnold is broken, and Zach Wilson hasn't had the chance to be broken yet. So, like I said,
Darnold, this is his Super Bowl. He wants to he wants to kill them so badly. And if you're in a 32-team league for fantasy football, start Sam Darnold. If you didn't draft the quarterback to like the 30th round, start Sam Darnold for whatever reason. If you're in a 2 QB league and you fucked up and you have Sam Darnold on your team, start him because this is a revenge game. I think he wants all the smoke.
I think I'm avoiding this game like the plague. I have NFL Sunday ticket. I'm not going to watch this game. I'm not even going to open my ESPN app to check the score, but next week when we come back, I'm hoping that the Jets prove me right. That's not a pretty sight. Not going to be a pretty game. Next game, Jacksonville at Houston. Is this what you're constituting as worst?
This is the worst game of the week. These are the 2 worst teams by far and away until I'm proven otherwise in the NFL.
And they're both in the same division.
No offense to Tyrod Taylor, because the guy has had the worst luck in I think NFL history. The poor guy had a puncture lung from a fucking doctor, lost the job to Baker Mayfield for no absolute reason.
Getting a
concussion. Like the dude has the worst luck, and I wish nothing for the best from him. But Trevor Lawrence hasn't lost a regular season game in how long? I'm gonna go with Jacksonville.
I did too.
It's tough, but I think Trevor, like both these teams suck so badly. It pains me more to see Philip Lindsay in a 30 Texas uniform. You know how painful that is? That's the worst part about this. It's not that this game sucks. It's that Philip Lindsay is a different uniform than a Broncos uniform. That's what hurts me the most. But
did you pick up James Robinson in any of your fantasy leagues?
I tried to, but I wasn't able to because he flew off the board. That was a guy that flew off the board.
But once Etienne got hurt, I was like,
once Etienne, he jumped up so many boards, and right when he was in that range of I want to say 20 or 30, he moved up that high. Like, and those picks, people were snatching him left and right. He's some teams, and I wouldn't be surprised, some teams are RB1. Like he's going to be the X factor for the Jacksonville Jaguars to win any football games this year.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And the other thing that you got to remember about Jacksonville, they have DJ Chark, they have Laviska Shenault.
Laviska Shenault, I think, is going to be a breakout guy. He's a dog.
They picked up Marvin Jones Jr. So they have a lot of speed on the outside.
They got some weapons for Trevor, yeah.
But they have he's not going to be able to stand up. Move on the run. That's all I can say.
Yeah, get him some. I hope Urban Meyer runs a college-type offense where the ball is out within 2.5 seconds. Yeah. You got to get the ball, run a lot of slants, a lot of out routes, a lot of dump offs to your running back because you ain't got time to be doing that. I mean, then again, the Texans defense is ass. So
who's going to be chasing him?
It's not like they got a bunch of dogs over there chasing him.
Oh man, they're going to have that. They're going to bring Jimmy McGinty in as the offensive coordinator for this game. Just set up on the run, move fast, think even faster. You'll live a lot longer. That's all I can tell you. We're not going to be able to protect you. But we're both going to Jacksonville over Houston in Houston. Next game, the Browns at the Chiefs, rematch of the divisional round from
worst game
last
of the
year's
week.
playoffs.
Worst game of the week to now best game of the week. This is the circle.
Why is this one not Sunday Night Football?
I don't understand either. Is the Sunday Night Football Packers Saints? Oh, it's Bears Rams.
It's Bears Rams.
That's stupid. This should have been the Sunday night game. But yeah, this game is going to be fantastic. This is going to be a dog fight. It's going to be good old fashioned smash mouth football. And Patrick Mahomes is going to try to send a message. Travis Kelce with no beard. Like, I'm going to go with Chiefs because I think the Browns got a lot better this year. But first game of the year facing the Chiefs, maybe come playoffs, I may have them upset them. But first game of the year, they're not there yet. They're not there yet.
If OBJ plays, I think that's going to be another thing that hinders the offense because we saw them get so much better once he went out, and now adding back that weapon when that's really not their identity. The Browns are a smash mouth team. They should be running the ball with Nick Chubb 20 times a game and then supplementing with Kareem Hunt
30 times.
Yeah, I mean, if the only reason I say supplement him is because he's a little injury prone in his young career, but that's how this team is successful. And now OBJ's coming back. They might try and push the ball down the field a little bit more, and that's not going to be their route to success. Yeah, they're going to have to be a running team first.
Yeah, they're just trying to take a dump on some teams, man, if you know what I mean.
Get shit on. Get shit on. That's legitimate. Remember back when NFL had a season during COVID?
Ago.
Yeah.
That was the biggest news
during COVID. That was a big story. OBJ and don't even just
we'll just skip, keep going.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bring up what you could look up. Just move past it. We both went Kansas City to win their opener. Next game up, Dolphins at Patriots, another divisional matchup. I went with Miami because Miami's had a way of winning in New England. I think that this will be a better season series than it was last season. This is not going to be a sweep for Miami, but I think that the Dolphins will get the edge in week one. What did you think about this one?
Let me preface, Jimmy, that they have been successful in New England ever since number 12 left.
Yeah.
1 year. So
no, they beat the last year Brady was in. That was the year that they put on the Hail Mary. Yeah. It's just for whatever reason it's close in New England.
That's true. I'm going to go with the Pats because they're at home and Mac Jones. I think he's more. I think he's gonna be good. I hate saying that.
I think he's gonna be better. That would mean that Mac beats Tua.
Yeah, right now Mac is better than Tua. I think Tua is raw and he's a good college quarterback. Mac Jones is got the talents to be a good NFL quarterback, and that's the difference between the two. And right now, I hate picking against Patriots at home. If it was in Miami, I know the recent success. If it was in Miami, I might have went the other way. But at home, I think Mac Jones wants to send a statement saying that he was the better quarterback out of him and Tua, and he wants to come in there with a big win and say that the Mac Jones era is here now to stay.
I'm not going to stand here and defend Tua. I do think that he's better than Mac Jones, but that's a good game. That'll be. I think
very
they'll
underrated
split. That series is going to be split no matter what. I don't think either team is going to win both games. Next game up, Packers at Saints. I went with the Packers because Jameis Winston is the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. That's all I need to tell you.
He's going to go. He's going to throw 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. He's going to be
a great fantasy quarterback. So maybe he won't. Maybe he'll throw 29 interceptions because he can see the linebackers now.
That's true.
Do you think that's what it was? Do you think he just couldn't see the linebackers?
Maybe, honestly. The dude squinted forever. I felt bad for him. But maybe new system, different things. But I'm still going with Packers. It's the last dance. Aaron Rodgers is ready to go out with I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but he's ready to prove a lot of people wrong in the organization that he's not done yet. And it starts on Sunday against the Saints.
I think the first thing Jameis Winston said when they lined up in training camp this year was like, "You play defense with 11 guys." I never saw those guys in the middle, so that's on me. That's on me. I'll take the blame. But no, Packers are going to beat famous Jameis and the Saints. The Saints are going to. I think the Saints are in for a rough year. Honestly, that division is not great, not as great as it was.
Tampa heavy, it's top heavy.
They're going to be bad this year, I think.
I mean, I think they're still the second best team in that division. It's not saying a whole lot, but it's going to be a different team. The defense isn't as good. Who was the linebacker that they traded away?
Quan Alexander. No, it wasn't Quan.
They traded for him. Traded for him. I don't know if he's there anymore. I may be wrong on that. But that defense, I think, is a little bit depleted now.
They lost the pass rusher because Trey Hendrickson is in Cincinnati now. Yeah, he was a big factor last year. Cameron
Jordan's going to be the main guy in the middle for them, but I don't think the Saints team has as much firepower. And you don't have Michael Thomas out there until week 6. So their wide receiver 1 is I don't know. Like I could not tell you. I don't know.
I honestly, it's like I said, it's some second string quarterback from Ohio State that got converted to receiver. That's legitimately the story. I just don't know his name.
Their number 1, 2, and 3 option is Alvin Kamara, and number 4 option is Taysom Hill. Yeah. They throw him at tight end.
No, they're. I was saying. I think that they're much closer to Carolina with famous Jameis as the quarterback than they were last year, even with Drew Brees as beat up and breaking 25 ribs as he did. They are in a lot worse situation this season. That's for damn sure. Next up, Broncos and Giants. Are you actually? It's in New York, so I don't even have to ask the stupid question that I was going to. But I picked the Broncos. I was just put that out there. You're wearing your Manning jersey.
So. Yeah, but I'm because I have a Drew Lock.
Is this the jersey that we're starting the season mojo with? What jersey?
Yes, this is the good luck mojo. This is the Super Bowl 50 jersey mojo. Good luck jersey. I'm picking the Broncos here too. This is a game where. If the Broncos lose this game, it's going to be because we can't slow down Saquon. And if I think this defense is as good as it should be, I don't think that's going to be any problem because I don't see Danny Dimes doing anything against the secondary. I see.
And he's going to be under a hell of a pass rush.
Yeah, this Giants defense is going to be in for 1-2. I don't think they don't have a very good run defense. They have good corners and a decent safety back there, but like they're not ready for Teddy Bridgewater. If Teddy Bridgewater can go without an interception, I'll say right now, if he doesn't throw an interception, Broncos win by 15. I'm calling it right now. Like, if he doesn't throw an interception, because the amount of pressure, Daniel Jones looked terrible in preseason. People don't want to talk about that. He looked terrible. And they're just going to rely on a Saquon Barkley who's coming off an ACL tear to lead this team. They got other things going for them. Like it's I don't even like Saquon is supposed to play. I don't know if you throw him against this team. Like the inside linebackers is the weak spot of this defense, but still, They got some dogs on the outside. Surtain is a great open field tackler. Talk about Kyle Fuller, who can lock up anybody. And you're telling me Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney is going to beat Surtain or any of these dogs? No way, no. No way.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're not going to score 15 points on the Giants defense. The Giants defense, you're underselling them quite a bit.
I probably am, but I'm just saying we are gonna. We will.
You'll score 15 points, but you're not gonna beat them.
15 piece them. Yeah, we're not gonna 15 piece them. No.
Yeah, you're gonna. I think you probably, if you win by 9 points, that's a solid win.
You're also forgetting how many offensive touchdowns. Defensive touchdowns. This defense is capable of.
Yes, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Won't beat the Giants by 15. Those defensive touchdowns.
So Tanner could take a couple to the house and say with Kyle Fuller.
PS2 is an X factor. I'll give you that. I'm not saying that they'll win, and I'm definitely not saying it's not going to be close. But the Broncos offense hasn't shown me that much in a regular season game yet for me to say they'll beat somebody by 15, especially because this Giants defense is a lot better than it has been. So that's my only thing. But we are both going Broncos, so we're arguing the same point. Doesn't matter. Next game, I think we know how both of us are leaning in this one, but Bears at Rams for Sunday Night Football. Do I have to ask?
I'm going Rams. I would not be surprised if the Bears won. I'm serious. I don't know. So Bears always Sunday. It's the Sunday Night Football games that they do some stupid shit and they surprise people. I swear, it always is something dumb. But I'm riding the Rams because I think Stafford was a pit bull in a cage. He could not be unleashed, and now I think he is going to be given the reins to his offense, and he is going to be, like I said, it could very well be a top 3 MVP candidate this year. That's wild to say, but the dude has weapons, an offensive line, and a hell of a defense, something he has never had. So I'm going Rams this way. Andy Dalton doesn't matter if it's Andy Dalton and Justin Fields. You're not going to score over the top of Jalen Ramsey.
No, there's no Devontae Adams to scare off Jalen Ramsey on the Bears team. But this would be an interesting matchup, I think, towards the end of the season near the playoffs. This week 1, I think, gets way in favor of Los Angeles. But the Bears would have, I think, a better shot the deeper you get into the season. Because the Rams do that. They start off hot and then taper off towards the end of the season. The Bears somehow figure themselves out as I go through puberty on the podcast with that nice little voice crack. Last game, Monday Night Football. First Monday Night Football. It's going to be so beautiful to hear. I think the Monday Night Football might be my favorite theme song for any broadcast, but the Ravens and Raiders open up Monday Night Football.
Bro, you sleeping on Carey and Sunday Night Football. Bro.
I'm not saying Carey's not good.
Carey is goated.
I know Hank Williams, we can't have him around here anymore, but I'm more talking about the
that's true. I agree. The jingle is goated, I will say
that's what I was referring to. But Raiders hosting the Ravens. I went with the AFC North, even though I don't like the Ravens, but I don't think that Las Vegas, even though this is the first time that they're going to have people in their stands and it's that brand new stadium, they're going to open up the club. It's going to be a bloodbath. I don't know about a bloodbath, but I'm picking Ravens too because the Raiders, they didn't do anything. They really didn't. They're hoping Darren Waller. I mean, Darren Waller is a dog. Don't get me wrong, but Derek Carr. I mean, it's a make or break year for Derek Carr. It is. He doesn't do anything. This team doesn't make the playoffs. Derek Carr's out the door. That's fact. Like John Gruden. The only reason why his seat isn't hot is because he got that stupid 10-year deal. The Raiders need to do something because this is year 3 or 4 now, John Gruden, and you still have not even touched the playoffs. You haven't made the playoffs since Derek Carr's first season. And when he had that MVP type of year and they got injured and then they made the playoffs. The Raiders, they may not think it's make or break, but Derek Carr, your window is closing, buddy. And honestly, hot take here. Here's another hot take. Mariota, I think, will finish the year as a starter.
Mariota, I think he's still got some legs underneath him. The guy has shown what talent he is. Derek Carr has been very banged up throughout his career. He's not been very consistent. So I'm going to say Mariota is going to be starting quarterback by the end of the year because the Raiders are going to get desperate because they're going to start falling behind early because they got a tough schedule, and it's going to be all hell breaking loose basically in Vegas.
I don't disagree with that statement. I think that it's a possibility, and I think the biggest thing for Mariota, the thing that's going to make him more successful moving forward, is that he's not in the market that drafted him in the top 5 of the NFL draft. So he doesn't have those expectations, because when he played for the Raiders last year, I think that he looked very serviceable. Like maybe have him as a backup for the Bengals because of Burrow and the offensive line. But Baltimore, this is Baltimore's game to lose. But, maybe the Raiders come out and want to open up their new stadium with the win. I would.
I mean, Ravens also with possibly going to have, or they did sign Le'Veon Bell, so that's our RB1. So that's going to take an X factor because Gus Edwards hurt. J.K. Dobbins is obviously out for the year. I don't know who their RB1 is, so I would guess Le'Veon Bell is not the RB1 first week after 2 days of getting signed 4 days before, or I guess you have a full week. But still, maybe he could be the RB1, but still, that's a tough task for a guy who wasn't in training camp.
Maybe they'll run more schoolyard bullshit. I think Lamar Jackson would like that. Just hand the ball off and then figure it out as we go. But no, that's our first pick'em of the 2021 NFL season. So we'll be putting out our Twitter thread with all the different polls for every game. Be sure to vote in them and let us know what you think. And then we'll be keeping stats. Like I said, we'll have some sort of stipulation at the end of the season. We haven't come up with it yet. But now we get to move on to What's Brewing, presented by our friends at the High Alpine Brewing Company. Follow them on Twitter and Instagram at High Alpine Brew. You can also like them on Facebook by searching High Alpine Brew.